Hey everybody, it's Eric, owner of Farpoint Farms here in the mountains of North Carolina, and tonight it's time to go live. You guys have asked for it, and here it is. So there is a bit more lag than usual. There is a problem, the problem being that, well, they've changed everything since the last time I did a live stream. So here we are, we're ready, let's do this, welcome to it. Looks like we got two people here, that's good to know. And let me go ahead and say welcome. There we go. So how's everybody been? It looks like yeah, people are starting to fill in. 7 o'clock. I'm almost on time. It was kind of a miracle to get this thing going here. The picture in the background tonight, I actually took that photo, man. That was on my cross-country trip this summer, picking up the Volkswagen Rabbit pickup truck and driving that back across country. So that picture there is, I think that was either Glacier. I'm going to guess that was going in or out of Glacier. I'm not sure, but I'm not seeing anybody on live chat. I'm hoping I've activated that. Somebody want to try to type something in there and just let me know that it's working? Well, hopefully it comes up. If not, I guess I'll just talk to myself for the next hour. It's cool. I've done it before. It's called the Midnight Cafe. Let's see. I don't see. Oh, there we go. Jonathan White. Hello, how are you, my friend? Finally, we're getting some people in here. So now I know the world actually exists. I'm well. Yeah, so 2020, just around the corner. Isn't it wild to think? Man, I don't know how old most of my listeners are. Probably about my age. But do you remember Y2K? I was having a whole lot more fun back in 2000. I'm pretty sure I was at a party. Pretty sure I was at a party having fun, maybe drinking or doing things that I shouldn't be doing. And now, you know, my plans for 2020, probably go to sleep about, 8 o'clock, 8:15, something like that. My, how life changes, isn't it crazy? Ted Bears waving hello. Hello, my friend. Nate Dogg, hey, hello. Star Wars Rosie, haven't heard from you in a while. Hello. Steve Ackerson saying evening. Mark Aller, something in there. David Downs, how's it going? David G, good to see you, my friend. And 42-year-old Star Wars Rosie, see, there you go. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Doug Morton saying hi. Tim Harris, Y2K. Man, was it crazy or not? The world was going to end, It was a big deal. Our computers were all going to crash because of that little Y2K bug. Pretty wild, man. No, those were the days. It was a simpler life, I don't think... Trying to think in 2000, I think I may have had dial-up internet at that point. I was a pretty late bloomer for internet, so I'm not sure. Mr. E says, hello, Glenn Francis. Hard to believe it was that long ago. Isn't it, man? 20 years, dude. 20 years. God. They've not been, some of the years have been kind to me, but most of the years have not been all that kind to me. You're making me feel old with a Y2K comment. Yeah, Mark, I got you, brother. Jonathan White, hey, Eric, have you ever seen or talked on a Galaxy Pluto? I have one in perfect condition that was my grandfather's. I have not seen... nor have I heard one, so that's pretty cool, man. That's got to be a rare radio. Zach Robinson, hello and happy almost 2020 to you too, my friend. Brian Moore, how's the Jenny working? It's working great. And David Downs, what's your take on the Uniden 980 SSB? I have had a Uniden 980 SSB for 2 years now, and I can say that I'm really happy with it, man. I think it's a great radio. It's a good talker on sideband. I don't do much AM talking other than just there's a local group that I talk with sometimes. But a lot of my stuff is skip shooting on sideband, and it works great for that. Not a radio you would want to buy in hopes of tuning up, making it put out more power than it was designed to do. But other than that, it's a great radio. Got a lot of great features, and yeah, I wouldn't trade it, man. It's a good radio. Oh, let's see who else we got here. Hey, Tim Douglas. Someone recently said it's weird that 2000 was 20 years ago because 1980 was also 20 years ago. Tim, truer words never said. It feels like just yesterday. God, my whole life feels like just yesterday sometimes. And then you sit down and think about just how far we've come. I remember sitting so many years ago with you, my friend. Tim is actually one of my high school friends. Good to see you on here tonight, my friend. Always cool to catch up with old friends. Thumbs up from Brooklyn. How you doing there, buddy? I can do a pretty good New York accent if I want to, especially if I get fired up about something. Remnant Soldier, we don't have another 20 years now. Unfortunately, that may very well be the case, my friends. I don't know about your health. My health has not been overall great. In fact, this last 12 months have been Less than fortunate, let's just put it that way. But I'm walking and talking, and most days I'm feeling all right, so that's a good sign for me. But yeah, we don't have any guarantees that tomorrow's going to come, so 20 years certainly seems like a stretch. Morgan Russman saying hello. Hello, Morgan. Shane Sullivan, 980 SSB. How's your noise blanker? I have a ton of power line noise that I can't filter as well as I did on my old 148. I do not have that problem in my current location, but I feel your pain because I did have it where I used to live. So I can't really comment on that. The 980 where I am, I'm surrounded by absolutely nothing but crickets, or this time of year, nothing. And so I don't get a lot of interference with electrical issues or other, other houses, stuff like that. Let's see here. Jerry Davis want to try to make contact on 11 meter. I'm in northeastern Tennessee. Dang it. Jerry, I would love to, but I am actually inside tonight. I'm not outside, which is, I probably could have done this outside, but I just decided to do it from indoors. So I have the camera set up in here, and I hadn't messed with it in months, really. So anyway, sorry about that. I would love to catch up with you sometimes. I have made a lot of contacts. What is it, 777 in East Tennessee's in Kingsport? I've talked to him quite a bit on not even Skip. That's usually ground contact. Jonathan White, it's also Galaxy 99 and Mirage 88. I think they made us. Oh, I don't know. That's cool, man. I wish I could see a picture of it. I wish there was some way you could post pictures on the chat room there, but I'm not sure that's possible. David Down says they can be peaked and tuned. You're talking about the 980? They can. My understanding is, though, that it's not really worth a ton of effort. I think you can tune them up a little bit, but I don't think they're monsters. I don't think they're able to be really juiced up. David M, hey there, you man. Hey, isn't David? I believe you are the guy that won the President Radio last year. Am I correct on that? I believe that was it. Anyway, how's that working out for you? If it is, I think it was. Star Wars Rosie, gotta fly. Best of luck in 2020. Boy, that was short. Take care. It was good seeing you. Marky Shaw, you the man, Eric. Stuck at home with the flu. Oh no. Man, the flu is no joke. That almost took me down back in 2011 or 2012. Y2K was the trip. I was ready for the power to go out or something, and not a dang thing. Thanks for a great year. Marky, thank you, sir. Always good to see an old friend come on here. Still loving the music. We've been talking a little bit over email. Marky is a great guy. If anybody ever wants a theme song to their life, Marky's the guy to get in touch with there. So good for you, Mark. Tina Smith, hello from Hernando, Mississippi. My boyfriend has a question about the length of coax from the radio to the box to the meter to the antenna. Fire away, Tina. Let's hear it. Nate Dogg, are you near Asheville? We have a place in that Maggie Valley. I'm about 2.5 hours from Asheville. Asheville would be southern western North Carolina, and I am in I'm in northern western North Carolina. Yeah, it's good to know your compasses in this world, isn't it? Jerry Davis, maybe later, contact on 11 meters. Love to try it, man. You know what? Yeah, I'd love to try that. We should set up a time to do that, my friend. Jonathan White, if you had a Facebook, I could send you a photo through Messenger. I don't have Messenger, I think, but I do have the Farpoint Farms Facebook fan page. You could probably post it there, I think. I'm not sure. I don't post there a lot, but I do read a lot of emails and answer questions on there. Jeremy Yates, hello from Alabama, where it is 70 degrees. Dude, like here too, it's been crazy. We've had, well, not 70, but for our area in the middle of winter or in the beginning of winter, this has been one heck of a nice week. We've had like high 50s, low 60s. That's all fixing to change again, but it's been nice. We already had snow here, so this was like a little bit of spring, right in the middle of winter, and I love that, man. Got a lot of stuff done outside. In fact, I was working on putting an antenna up today, and that was kind of interesting. It didn't get done, but it was a good try. Wow, they're rolling in here. Let's see here. Morgan Russman, I forgot the last time you did a live stream. September, maybe. Yeah, it's been a long time. I need to do more of them. There are some issues with doing live streams now that make it a little more difficult for me to get on here and do that, but I certainly would like to do that more often. So I'm going to adjust the camera down a little bit so y'all see more of them instead of just my head over me there. There we go. Let's see if that's any better. But I will try to do them. I asked in the questions and comments section there if people were interested in having me do more of these. So the answer is yes. I will be doing more. I'm going to try to do one once a month is my goal here. So I'll see you again into January after this. Look, I want to tell you all we do have about a 30-second delay. It's looking like from the time that I read your message and to the time you see my answers. there's nothing I can do about that. That's just the way that YouTube has put a delay in there, so that's just what's going on there, in case you're wondering why it takes so long to answer. John Bland, good afternoon from Arkansas, or Arkansas, as I say. Good afternoon to you as well. David Downs, well, if any of y'all in North Florida, hit me up on Channel 19. Good to go, man. Mr. E got my unit in BC358, scanner rolling. Fortunate enough to be in a completely analog area. You and me both, buddy. It's really cool listening to all the fire and sheriffs, and I can even pick up some transmissions from a jail in Tennessee, so pretty cool, man. Sean, you've been asking me via email. I haven't had a chance to get back to it, but I did read your email this morning. Sean wants to know about my pirate radio station. The answer to that question is yes. I do broadcast here on 1670 AM, but the effective range is around a mile, so it would be very difficult for you to catch that. As far as the Shoutcast stream that I used to do, it's not up currently. I've actually had some laptop problems with that old laptop that I did a video on there. So that's why its Shoutcast is down right now. Will it come back? Probably. Now, there has been some other issues there. The radio station split. Me and my friend Jason, we no longer work together on the radio station, so he took 1670 Wasted Radio. That was the name of the radio station that I ran for so many years. I gave him the rights to that station name, and he started a station on Live 365, but as of the last time I checked, it was no longer up as well. But he was doing like music during the day on that, and then in the evenings rebroadcasting our old shows, other shows, stuff like that. But to my knowledge, I haven't talked to Jason in several months now. That show's not, that radio station's not on the air. But my little station lives on. CQDX, Mayhem RV, yeah, buddy. David M, I won the radio. Oh, David, sorry, man. I thought for some reason, I'm trying to think of the guy's name. It was another David. It wasn't David G and not David M, but there's another David out there who won the President Radio last year. I can't remember anyway. Jonathan White, I'll send it there, my friend. Good deal, dude. I'll be looking for that here in a little bit. Doug saying it's cold and snowy in Alaska. Holy cow, man. Alaska. I have not just one, but two family members that live up there. I have a brother-in-law and a sister-in-law. One lives outside of Fairbanks, completely off-grid. The other one lives outside of Anchorage. And this summer, picking up that rabbit truck, man. So that's really cool. I picked it up in Washington, drove down to the Oregon coast, spent a day down there, and then headed back across country. So cool, man. Small world, isn't it? Zach Shack, hi there. I used to be Poor Man's Ways, but Google somehow locked me out of that account. Are you kidding me, Zach? Yeah, I was subscribed to your channel. You had uploaded a few videos on it, and then nothing. So interesting. I'll be sure to check out Zach Shack, and hopefully you'll get back to uploading videos there, man. Mark Aller, yeah, the flag above you is something special. That was my grandfather's flag from his funeral there. So yes, it is something to cherish. Jonathan White just sent the photo over to Fun Part. Good. Doug Morton saying hello. Hello to you. Pam Hawkins, hello from Wisconsin. Man, isn't it cool that you sit here in front of my computer in middle of nowhere, North Carolina, and talk to the world live. It's pretty darn cool. I think it is. Tina Smith, my boyfriend likes your truck picture behind you. That picture there was actually made by my great uncle. He was Marty? No. Gosh, what was his name? Wally. His name was Wally, and Wally was an artist, also not a Vietnam, but a World War II vet who came back, lived the rest of his life down in Florida, and liked to do drawings and paintings, and did some really beautiful work. I've not been able to find any of his work out there, but I got this when I was maybe 5 or 6 years old, and I've kept it ever since. It's such a cool thing. Dallas Rife, great to see you live. Hello from Manchester, Tennessee. Happy New Year to you. I'm at work. What a shocker. Dallas, it does seem that every time that I have contacted you or talked with you, you either on your way to work, getting ready to go to work, or just taking a break from work. So, hey, man, I know the feeling. I had that grind for about 20 years. I just kind of blew a fuse and changed up. But good for you, buddy. Jen After Next Tactics, hello from Bagram Airfield in Afghanistan. No kidding. I miss my Cobra 148 mobile setup. Wish I had it here. How's the weather in the mountains? It is beautiful, bro. I had no idea you were deployed. Good for you, and take care of yourself over there. Be careful and come home safe, my friend. And I wonder if there's Skip out there in Afghanistan. That'd be interesting. Maybe I'll get you a radio out there, smuggle one out there and get you set up. What do you say, man? Sound good? Psycho for you, I live 40 miles south of Florence. Cool, man. Well, it's a beautiful part of the world. The sunsets and everything. Psycho for you, I'm a little bit jealous. I lived in Eugene and Springfield, Oregon when I was younger, and other than the fact that I could never find a job worth anything when I was out there, I really enjoyed that area. So beautiful, so beautiful. Dave M saying, figured I'd never win anything. Yeah, sorry, man. Maybe next time. I'm going to do another radio giveaway. I don't know if it's going to be with President. I don't think they're going to be sending any more radios for me to review, or not radios to review, but radios to give away like that. But I pick up radios at flea markets and stuff, and I'm going to try to probably give one away that I've come across. I just want to find one that I can fix up enough first. So who knows? Stay tuned for that. We'll probably do that in February like I did last year. Pam saying, look at that. He's working all the states on the YouTube channel. Exactly. When the DX does not work out for you, well, there's always the internet, right? Juan saying, your channel rocks. Greetings from Lower Alabama. Well, thank you, man. I'm a nobody, man. Honestly, I'm a nobody, but I appreciate that. And little by little, the channel grows. 20,000 subscribers, man. That's just amazing to me. And I didn't get any special emails or anything from YouTube for it, but it meant something to me. It's just pretty wild. The growth, I think it was last year in December that it was 10,000, so we're talking doubling every year. If that's the case this year, then it's going to be a great year for Farpoint Farms. Ted the Bear, I'm currently using a Johnson Messenger 123A and a President Dwight D Uniden. I just bought a realistic TRC phone mobile from an auction. So, dude, I had a Messenger 123A and I had a TRC 56. And the TRC 56, is that that's the phone style, like regular old school phone handle, but is that a 23 or 40 channel? I can't remember. But those are great conversation pieces. Install that in a car and you will definitely get some interesting conversations out of it, man. Reverse Universe saying, hello from Oz, bloody hot here, 40 plus C, hope you're all great. Holy cow, definitely middle of summer down there in Oz, huh? Wow. Philip Burno, hello from Southwest Michigan. Hello, man. I've been talking a lot of skip to folks in Michigan in the last couple of weeks, so that's kind of cool that it's just the way it's been working, I guess. But Reverse Universe saying, I haven't been on the rig since the 80s. I used to love talking skip to you guys. I just personally president that I haven't set up yet. Good for you, man. Welcome back to the hobby. Can't wait to see you on here. It's amazing. I have talked to people in Australia and, Indonesia. I've talked to folks all over the place. The problem is I've heard a lot of people in countries that I just don't understand the language, but luckily that's not a problem with Australia. Psycho for you saying, grew up in Springfield, man. I still remember my address, brother. 314 South 43rd Street. You can look it up. Little red, well, I think they probably painted it over the years, but it was a little duplex, man. Lived there and was happy. And, man, what a life I lived out there. What a life. Pam Hopkins, the voice of Farpoint Farms. You should be called. I am the voice of Farpoint Farms, and welcome to the channel. Zach Shack, I got a video of a cool CB in there. Old Lafayette Comphone. How's that Baofeng working? Man, the Baofeng is great. The problem is I am old, and I'm having a hard time with programming. So I've actually been watching some videos on it. I can't make a part 2 really because I haven't had a chance to really dig into the thing. Every time I get time to play with it, I get hung up on some programming issue, and I may give up on the software part and just do it manually, like enter it in on the radio, which I know is tediously slow, but it's kind of where I'm stuck at. So Morgan Russman is saying, what were you talking about sitting in front of a computer talking to people across the world? I know what you mean. I first time watcher and Technoman, a former in Australia. Let's see. I don't know, Morgan. That was like, I think it got mixed up there. Maybe you were typing on your phone. Sean says YouTube's going to send me a golden CB if I keep those numbers rolling up. Man, I love it. That looks like we're having a dropout here. There we go. Yeah, I had a little bit of cycling. Jen after next taxis, how do you know what yard sales to go to find old CBs? It seems like all the yard sales I know about is people selling junk out of the garage. No CBs though. Man, that's the thing about yard sales. You can go to 20 yard sales or 10 flea markets and find absolutely nothing. And about the time you totally give up on the whole idea, is the day that you're going to roll up and come across some of the scores like I've come across, where you end up with 5 or 6 base stations, or that one time that I got 75 radios for $75. I mean, you gotta just have faith, you know what I mean? Last 2 radios I picked up, I went to a flea market in Tennessee and got a Cobra weather station model. I think it was like a WX18 sound tracker. It was $5. So, you know, they're out there, and it came with a mic too. So they're out there. But man, Hamfest, obviously, those type things are going to generate a lot more good deals usually if you can go around and start looking up underneath tables where the people are putting stuff they don't think is going to sell. So that's my advice on that. But just don't give up. Pretty much it is. You know, my poor wife. I must be married to the only woman that doesn't like to shop. But like every time we go out, you know, to do something, if I see something like that, I want to stop and check it out. I think she's about had enough of me. Actually, I think she's pretty much just had enough of me, period. But she's definitely had enough of me when it comes to the flea markets and the yard sales and the Hamfest and stuff like that. But that's all right, man. Jerry Davis says he has a YouTube video on how to program a Baofeng. No kidding. So Jerry, I'm definitely going to check that out after this is all over with, because I'm definitely software for programming. The Baofeng, and I haven't used Chirp yet, but I need something like that. Pam Hawkins, I should turn my house at you and see if we can contact. I have the old 101 works. Oh, no kidding. Philip Boyd just stopped by to say hello. Hello, Philip. Good to talk with you, man. Reverse Universe. I missed out on a President base station for sale on Facebook for $200. I'm still hurting. Yeah, Facebook, man. Here's my problem here, man. So, Craigslist I really liked, and it's dead, and it sucks. I mean, Craigslist was, you know, a bit sketchy sometimes, and yeah, you got some spam sometimes, or it was somebody trying to scam you. Although it wasn't. It's not too hard to realize when somebody's trying to scam you. Usually, I'm not going to say that in all cases, but and then I don't know, Craigslist decided to shoot themselves in the foot by charging for car ads, and that was like, you know, it was right as Facebook Marketplace was really starting to take off, and then them doing that was like the nail in the coffin. You go on Craigslist, at least around my area now, and it's the same garbage or no garbage at all. It's really sad. So now you're stuck with Facebook Marketplace, and I freaking hate Facebook, man. I hate it. It's a necessary evil if you're going to be an online presence or you're going to have a business or anything like that. You almost have to deal with them. But they're, you know, as a company, they are so scummy, man. And I say that sitting here on YouTube, which is also a giant scummy company these days. But it's just kind of sad that that's what it's come to. But yeah, Facebook Marketplace, there's a lot of good deals there. The problem is good deals go quicker on Facebook, I think, than they do on Craigslist. So that's been the downside to that. Let's see here. Philip Boyd, yeah, okay. Let's see. Michael Root just got back from Nashville. I love Tennessee. Michael, yeah, Tennessee's a beautiful place, man. It is a beautiful place. Zach's Shack, yeah, my Baofeng program through the keypad, didn't try the software. Yeah, I think that's what I'm going to do. And there's only like 4 or 5 repeaters in the area that I could even try to get into. My plan is to take it down to into town, try it from there, see if I can make some contacts. If not, I have a couple of other 2-meter radios, and maybe I'll just do some, you know, local contact with myself, just working between me and my wife there. By the way, one of the reasons you never see two-way conversations while I do my range test videos and stuff like that is my wife does not want to be on the internet, apparently, so she's not doing videos with me, and I'm jealous. Mower Junkie, who is a great channel, if you haven't all checked him out yet, he's like, I swear we must be twins or something like that, because he's into riding mowers and CB radios, which, yeah, stuff. So good for him, man. I definitely recommend you check out Mower Junkie's radio or YouTube station. Megan's asking, how is the President base station working out? It's amazing. Like, the thing is like 30 years old at least, and I haven't replaced the caps. I haven't done anything. It just works. I still got to take the cover off, put a couple drops of electrolyte grease, or I want to clean the contacts and then put a little bit of grease, get the needle working again for the meter. But other than that, it's working beautifully. It's just amazing. Now the Madison that I picked up, I haven't had a chance to tear it apart. The power supply on it, it'll operate off a 12 volt but not off the built-in power supply, and I do want to fix that. So that's probably going to be recapped, and I could do that. The problem is there's no one in the area here that does alignments, and once I tear that thing apart and recap it all, it'll need to be aligned, and unfortunately I don't have anybody here to do that, so that's kind of a bummer. Josh Levin saying, greetings from Vermont. Good day, sir. It's okay. Josh, Farpoint Farm site. It's like you have to have a presence, man. It irks me because they're just not a good company. They just sell everything about you. It's like the ultimate pimp or something like that. It's just terrible. Megan saying, oh, greetings from Boston. Hello, Boston. Reverse universe, especially when you sell an item and so many don't turn up. Yeah, that's the bummer of all that stuff. Either, depending on whether it's Facebook or Craigslist, somebody says, hey, man, I'm really interested. I want to check this thing out. And then they never show up. I've been trying to get a car dolly, like a front-end car dolly, because I'm going to be buying more and more cars here shortly. And it seems like every time I find one within driving range, the guy flakes out or sells before I have a chance to get out there and see it. It's kind of a bummer. But Josh Levin saying, I think the world would be a better place without Facebook. I can't disagree with that. Sean saying, well, at least you came to the farm. Be thankful for that. Yes, I am very thankful. My wife supported me, I would say about 90% in my crazy endeavors. It hasn't been until recently that she's questioned some of my ideas, but we're still rolling along pretty well, and 2020 is almost here. So is my 20th anniversary with her, so I guess there is some positives in this world, isn't there? The future has some benefits to it. One of them's finding a good woman and hanging on to her, at least for 20 years. That's pretty good. John Bland, have you tried chirp programming for your Baofeng? I have programmed 4 and still working on the Baofeng. So I did download Chirp actually this morning and played with it a little bit before everybody woke up, but I'm not, what you see here is a guy who knows enough about computers to post videos and do some light editing, and certainly a guy who likes to take things apart and put them back together again. But when it comes to computer software, I am old. I have a much harder time. I have a much harder time figuring some of this stuff out than I probably should. 10 years ago, man, my brain was in a different place, and I could roll into some new program and figure it out and dive right in. But I don't know if it's that I don't know. I honestly don't know what it is, but I definitely have trouble when it comes to operating software. There's a lot of software that you'll see me use in some of my videos that's outdated, and the reason I continue to use it is because I know how to use it. Every time I try to upgrade to something newer or better, I've ended up struggling so hard a lot of times I go back. So yeah, I have played with Chirp this morning, but I could probably gonna have to be watching some tutorials on that as well. Jerry Davis saying Mower Junkie, yeah, he's a great channel, and I think he's up to 5,000 subscribers, and he deserves to be the rocket ship that I'm sure he's going to be. He's a great channel if you haven't checked him out. Mayhem RV, I got a chuckle out of high power antenna video. Yeah, well, they were really nice to send me that, and I got to say I'm honestly super surprised at that. I've kept it. It's plugged into that TV set in the other room. The HD stacker's done. It's dead meat. I don't know what's going on with it, but it's, I don't want to be going up on the roof this time of year to take it down. I'm looking for a exterior replacement. I'm probably going to get one of those 8-bay bow tie style antennas and put it up there instead of going for the older style. But in the meantime, that actually was the perfect little thing. I've got that Uplink, I think it was, just $19.99 generic motorized preamplified. You see them all over the place. Very inexpensive little antenna, but that's out in the garage. There's no way to backfeed it into the house. So having this little portable antenna that's amplified literally lists no channels available with a regular antenna to see if their product would work, and to their credit, it really did. So I'd recommend it, especially if you were living in an area a little bit denser than where I'm at right now. Pam Hopkins saying, back in the 70s, my dad told me there was a person in town. He sent a letter to the ARRL, had him a pic on the wall with QSL cars working all the states. Wow. That's crazy. Zach Shack, 20 years, congrats. Yes, man. Thank you very much. I think it's pretty wild. Jen after next tactics, Baofeng is Chinese. Yeah, buddy, I can answer that one for you. OD, what's up, man? I've been watching you for a while. I've actually been getting more and more into CB, and pretty sure I'm going to go ham also. Totally should. So, I think a lot of guys out there that are big into ham get the false impression that I have like a vendetta against ham. That couldn't be farther from the truth. Ham is awesome, especially if you move up into the higher licensing and get a HF rig or an all-band rig like that just talk to the world pretty much any time. I am working on some videos that are going to talk specifically about Skip, and while it's focused mainly towards CB radio, it will also be talking about how Skip works on all the bands, and how one of the big advantages of ham over CB is band openings. You know, when that 11 meter band is wide open and we're talking Skip, that's great, but when it closes, if you have your ham ticket and you have an HF rig or, you know, a nice setup, you can pretty much talk to the world pretty much all day long. You know, you can, one band closes, another one opens. Now sometimes everything is dead, but still it increases your opportunity to talk. So a lot of people think I have a problem with ham, and that couldn't be farther from the truth. Anybody that's interested in radio is automatically a friend of mine unless they prove themselves to be otherwise. Megan Boyle, that is wonderful about your 20-year mark. A good partnership is a beautiful thing. I encourage you embracing her desire to be the silent partner. Yeah, you know, early on I really wanted her to be a part of it. It's no secret that videos on YouTube that have a male and a female, or just a female in them, do traditionally a whole lot better than one that just has a fairly ugly-looking guy staring at a screen and talking for 350 videos now. You know, you got to choose your battles in relationships, and that one was one that I kind of felt like I was never going to win anyway. So what's the point? So yeah, I let her be the silent partner. She definitely helps out, though. Sometimes she'll hold the camera for me. Sometimes she'll help with ideas and things along those lines. So she's been a good wife, that's for sure. Let's see. Doug Martin, trade my HR2510 for your HD1. Interesting offer. I might have to think about that. Dallas Rife is saying it's called getting older. Once you hit 45, the I'm fed up meter is pegged out. Dallas, I think you might be right about that. Like, I used to be able to sit down in front of a project and focus on it and spend hours, you know, trying to figure this thing out and get it on top of it. And now, yeah, I get about a half hour into something and I'm like, I don't have time for this. I've got all this stuff I got to take care of. The honeydew list and the farm list and the work list, and some of that's my own fault. I've taken on a lot more than I really can chew. You try selling cars and restoring cars and buying cars and selling cars and working a farm and raising animals and taking care of this and also working a job. Man, what is not cool is called getting old. What happened to my teenage years when my entire night was just like, hey man, what do you want to do today, bro? And that was it. Yeah, no responsibilities. Boy, those days are long behind us, huh? Psycho for you, working towards my general right now. Got to get my antenna up for my HF rig. Yeah, man, are you going to do like a real antenna, or are you going to do a long wire antenna? I think if I ever try to do ham up here, like HF ham up here again, I'm going to have to go with just a real long wire antenna. But that's cool. I'm down with that. Reverse Universe, getting a bit technical here, but with our sun currently without sunspots being in its low cycle, does this affect Skip much, or does it depend on the antenna you use? Yes, and this is part of the video I'm making. I was actually working on it this afternoon. So, yes, Skip is totally dependent on atmospheric conditions, and those conditions are also greatly changed around by the sun itself. So we won't get into climate change or any of that stuff, but the sunspots, solar activity, and the sun in general is really where 99% of what happens in our radios happens. A giant solar flare could conceivably turn all our radios off forever, along with everything else that's electronic. But in the most part, yeah, we're at the very bottom of a solar cycle that was kind of a weak cycle to begin with. So that's why we don't get a ton of Skip, and that's why Skip has been kind of really absent here, other than for a few hours every once in a while. So that's what's going on. And I don't want to get too far into it, but yes, yeah. So and having a great antenna is always going to be great, but that's not going to get you Skip when somebody else doesn't. It's just atmospheric conditions, solar conditions, things like that. So OD, it costs some money though. You catch any of the Skip on the day after Christmas? I sure did, man. I was talking for hours. I talked to a couple people who actually knew the channel. And you know, it's funny with 20,000 subscribers and 5-something million views. I get recognized sometimes when I'm out and about, and that's okay. It's a little bit weird sometimes shaking hands and actually taking pictures. Or one dude and his wife asked for an autograph. That was a good one, man. So But you know, on the radio, either people just want to make the contact and move on, or they just don't mention that they are aware of the channel. But the day after Christmas, yeah, I actually ran into 2 or 3 people who had not only heard of the channel but were subscribers, and we were able to chat, you know, in and out with the skip. It was crazy. It was so heavy it reminded me of the peak of a solar cycle, not the bottom of one. But it was really cool, man. I enjoyed that. Let's see here. Pam Hawkins, all radio was fun, just different bands, different people, and more on 11 meters. That's what makes CB so much fun. Yeah, I mean, statistically speaking, and this is one of the main reasons why I always push CB as a way to get people into radio in general, is there's probably, I would say, 20 or 30 times more people operating a CB on any given day than there are ham operators in the world. So for that reason alone, CB over ham tends to be my opinion. But again, it's just an opinion. People do tend to get a little bent out of shape over these opinions sometimes. Joel Hutchinson saying, hello everyone. Hello to you, my friend. John Plan, Antenna Man, has some great reviews on TV antennas. Is that is Antenna Man? No, I'm thinking of something southern. There's a guy that makes his own antennas, and he's an elderly gentleman, but he's a really great channel to watch as far as, you know, he even went in so far as to cutting the antenna down so you could pick up an exact channel, like cutting your wiring to the right size and stuff. But I'll have to check out Antenna Man. I probably have watched his videos. It's just, you know, some people get kind of mixed up with other people. But OG saying he's running a Barefoot Cobra 29 with a Wilson 5000, and I went out and hopped in my buggy, and every channel was lit up. Normally it's dead silence. Yeah, man, and that's exactly how it is. Sometimes you turn it on and you're like, holy cow, what have I been missing? This is great. You just roll with it, man. Enjoy it, and enjoy it until it ends, because you don't know. It might be a couple days or weeks before it comes back. Psycho for you saying dill pole antenna, good for you, bud. Yeah, I have one that I have that's like I think it's like a 10 through 80 meter antenna, and it's nothing fancy. It's not like something you slap on a tower. It's, you know, it's quarter wave probably at most, but if I set up an HF rig, and I do, like every time I go to a ham fest, I hold in my hand, you know, like a nice Yasu or something like that, and I think, okay, this is it. Or I actually want a Kenwood 2000. I don't know if y'all are familiar with that one, but it's kind of I want a Kenwood 2000 and an antenna band, or an antenna tuner that matches up to it. I want like the CB version of an HF rig, and that Kenwood 2000 is about as close as you can get. It's like, it's just such a simple radio. Unfortunately, they're kind of getting old, so I'm worried I'd buy one of these things and it'd be, you know, messed up or whatnot. But let's see here. DC Bolt says, congratulations on your 20K. Love your show. I am in Southeast West Virginia, so maybe we could DX sometime. Yes, most definitely, dude. That's yeah, I think that would probably be possible for sure. John Bland working on my General also. Yeah, it's fairly hard. Yeah, General is, but it does open up the world to you, that's for sure. I-386, hello, Eric at Farpoint Farms. Hey, look at you, man. You donated some money. Well, thank you very much. Awesome. No, sir, you're awesome. You're awesome. I'm pointing at the TV or the screen, not the camera. You're awesome, my friend. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate donations to the channel. I don't really go out and ask for them, but it's always nice when people feel like I produce a product that is you know, good enough, I guess. Thank you. Pam saying just got one that does 75 to 100 pep. That's all you need. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Cooper Electronics there. The RM Italy amps, man. I swear, every day or every time I think about what's the next step in CB radio for me, I think about going back and getting an amp, which I had an amp back in like 2000 late. But yeah, I keep thinking about getting one of those RM, maybe the 200, you know. But I just never pulled the trigger on that one. Let's see here. John Bland, Antenna Man, is in PA. His reviews are on TV antennas. I think that I have seen him, man. He seems like a nice guy. Second for you saying he recently got an ICOM 756 Pro 2. I'm going to take a sip of water here. Alright, Reverse Universe. CBs might be fading out, but most will hold on to them because one day you will need them if the grid goes down for a long period. So it's a great backup besides being a great hobby. I agree 100% on that. So I probably, I never got rid of all my CBs, but I would say between 2004 and maybe 2008, 2009, there was a big lull in the hobby for me, because after it really faded away, in 2002, 2003, I was one of the last diehards out there, and then it just kind of faded away in the Raleigh area. I kind of put that stuff in the garage or put it up on a shelf, but never got rid of it, because you're right. It is a form of communication that can't be tampered with, in the sense that we see online right now. We see this massive push to control chat, to control what people say, what people think, what people talk about. And so to have a method where I could just still get on the air and say what I want to say and do what I want to do is probably one of the more important reasons to have it around, I think, for everyone. We're living in interesting times, there's no doubt about that. I-386, I am looking for a good directional FM antenna. I purchased Stellar Labs, but it was damaged in shipping, and it is too flimsy. Trying to pick up a strange FM station somewhere far out there. I don't think I've ever had a directional FM antenna. I've had amplified FM antennas, but they're all, the dome, the omnidirectional style. So I wish I had a recommendation for you on that, but I'm afraid I don't. Ted the Bear saying he's in West Virginia too, Lincoln County. Good for you, buddy. DC Volts in Summers running a Gainmaster 5/8 wave. There you go, bud. Bobby Scott, good evening there. Just tuning in. Good evening, Bobby. Good to see you in there. And Hillbilly Horticulture. I love it. Congratulations, Canada. Love listening to you yak. Thanks, man. Hillbilly, you've been around a while now, man. I appreciate the fact that you're around, commenting on my stuff. And hey, you know what? Let me take a moment here to point this out. So I can't keep up with all the comments, and that's really sad. One of the things that I really enjoyed about this channel early on is getting to know a lot of you, and a lot of you that have tuned in tonight. I do try to answer every email that I get. I do try to answer every question that I get, or if there's comments, I do try to interact. That's something that I feel like is an important part of what I'm doing here. It's not just a one-way. I'm not just sending these signals to you. I want to have that two-way conversation even when we're not doing it live. But it's just gotten to the point where some of these videos get 70 or 80 comments in a single day, and then on top of that I'm getting comments on all the other videos. I mean, I literally have like 350 videos here, and that's not including the ones that are private, or the ones that are were live streamed that have gone into the private bin, or the not listed bin, or whatever it is. So there is just a ton of comments that I get every day. But keep that in mind. So if you do send me a message or an email and I don't answer you, it's certainly not that I'm ignoring you. It's just that I probably got lost in the mix, or I ran out of time. I do try to answer my emails first thing in the morning when I wake up before the day begins. And so anyway, that's that. I just wanted you all to be aware of that, okay? Let's see here. Oh man, I'm oh gosh, it's not John Bland, it's Joe Bland. I'm sorry, dude. I don't have my glasses on. I never wear my glasses here. I'll tell you what. There. Then I'd have to sit so close to the screen it wouldn't work either. So you'll just have to deal with it, my friend. I'm sorry if I mispronounce names or don't get it right at all. Jet After Next Tactics. If you were to get an RM Italy or Palomar, would you show it on the channel? I don't think CB Police would bother you. Jet After Next Tactics, I would not show it on the channel, and the YouTube Police, not the YouTube Police, but the Ham Nazis would definitely complain. I know this because I have had issues with them before. I was going to make a whole series of videos on amplifiers the first year I had this channel up, and my gosh, was there a huge stinking outcry from a bunch of whiny ass old dudes that didn't have anything better to do with their time. So I will not show that, but it'd be nice for me to have just for my own if I ever decide to do something like that. Oh boy. Neo 541, hello my friend, how you doing? I-386, the Baofeng I have will key a local police repeater if I programmed it. I would do that in extreme emergency. You know what, man? I think that's a very cool thing to have, actually. If you absolutely needed to, it's good to have the ability to do something if you absolutely need to. Pam says, just don't drive over RM amps, 2 to 5 watts. Texas Star amps are better, but R amps don't hit. Yeah, I mean, I think the RM amps are known to be decent little amps. They're obviously way overrated, yeah, I've heard like 1 watt really would be a good way to keep them from blowing up. IE386 is saying they say the VHF part of the HD stacker is good for FM. That's good to know. So I'm actually, when I do take the stacker down, I'm going to dissect that thing. I'm going to figure out what went wrong. If it turns out that there's a short on the VHF side, that's fine. I only have one transponder on the VHF side, so I'll just take it off. I'll remount the bottom part and do a follow-up video on that. It's not that hard to take them apart. There's just 2 rivets to drill out, and you can get that thing out of there. So that's kind of cool. Joel saying, congratulations. Do you use multi-tools or EDC knives? Greeting. Yes, I do have my old... yeah, I've got a bunch of knives. As far as this particular everyday carry knife, I'm not a knife snob. I just carry, you know, $10 or $5 knife, whatever it is. In fact, my wife got me one of those $1 Walmart folding knives, and I was actually kind of surprised. Excuse me, long day. Been up since about 4. Yeah, it's not a bad knife for what it is, you know. But you'll notice in my videos, there's like videos where people do unboxing videos, and they have these beautiful, like, Pakistani steel. There's just beautiful knives with just so gorgeous, handmade custom stuff. I usually rip my boxes open, or I use like a rusty razor blade or something like that. So I guess I'm just not that cool when it comes to that. Megan say, I do have a rack set up off even this time of year. If you clean it really well, let it dry, and then have it undercoated, you'll still be doing great. Now you saw in my video, I took those panels down and painted all that stuff, and a noticeable difference in the sound. So I think you'll really like that Mirage. Apple trees are doing good. Obviously, it's the middle of winter here, so they're all in hibernation, but I'm going to be pruning them back in the spring. I want them to grow wider instead of taller, and I'm hoping this year we get over the 100 pounds. So that's good. We're 6 or 7 years in now to tree growing, so they're really starting to come in. They're really starting, you know, they're getting bigger. They're healthy. I love it. John the Bass Cannon, how's everything going on the farm? Did you have a good Christmas as well? I certainly did. I hope you did as well. The farm's, it's going well. The animals, we've culled all the chickens for the winter, and so it's been kind of eerily quiet down there at the lower barn. Still have some rabbits, no chickens, no turkeys right now. They're all in the freezer. Still thinking about pigs in spring, so we'll see how that plays out. It's funny, man. The farm really went crazy 2 years ago and was super successful. Last year it was like autopilot for most of the year. It was really doing well, and other than just maintenance and upkeep, everything was great. And then in the fall, we had a problem with a predator. I never did figure out what it was. We put trail cameras down there trying to get it. I don't think it was a coyote, which we do have coyote problems up here. I think it was a bobcat. This thing was slick, man. It was slick and it was fast. It hopped the fence right over the electric, grab a chicken, go, grab a rabbit and go. And the reason I don't think it was a dog or a coyote was that usually a coyote or a raccoon or a dog, if he gets inside the fence line, they're just going to tear that chicken apart or that rabbit apart and eat it right there. Whatever this was that was coming in and hitting and taking the animals was coming in, snatching it, and taking off. We thought it might be hawks or owls, but it was taking some pretty large animals, so we didn't know what was going on there. So I made the call to go ahead and cull the whole thing, and we'll just start again in the spring. Hopefully whatever it was that was working the system pretty hard will have moved on by then. If not, I will deal with it with a judicial show of force if I have to, but I hope it won't. So there we go. Let's see here. Ever thought of doing an SDR rig? Yes, I would love to. I was in talks with Alloance, the makers of the HD1. They have an SDR rig, and I was trying to get them to send me one to demo because I really can't afford to actually purchase one. And I never heard back from them on that, so I guess I'm not big stink enough here in the CB/ham world to deserve such a fine piece of equipment. But that's okay. I'm sure that eventually the prices on that will come down. I do have an SDR, like USB SDR, for listening, and again, there's a lot of a learning curve on that, but it sure is fun, man. I like that. Milo H, I'm just getting into CB, and you have been a great help for me as I get into the hobby. I was wondering how CBers come up with their call sign and know where do the numbers come from. So I've been asked that quite a bit over the years. People used to think maybe the 707, like I used to be North Star 707, now I'm Farpoint Farm 707. The 707, people used to think, oh, that's an area code or something like that. There is no there's no like you have to have this or you have to have that. You can pick your own numbers, man. 777 is in Tennessee. We talk quite a bit, but they're like a 707 actually came out for me. It was actually part of an employee ID number that I had, and I just liked the 707. So that's how it became to me. As far as the name, sometimes people give you a nickname. I certainly had a few in the Army, but North Star actually was. That was where it started for me, and that followed me into computers for a while, and then I moved on to Farpoint Farms when this channel kind of took off. More people knew me as Farpoint Farms as they did North Star, so I switched it. But yeah, you can come up with your own name there, man. Neon St. Nav is a Royce 639 CB. Great little radios, man. I had one of those. Ted the Bear says, my CB handle is Snowman. My old CB handle was The Bear. There you go, buddy. Mayhem RV, does anyone else use MERS frequencies? Quite a few of them on here in Illinois. I don't play with those much, but there's nothing wrong with them. Literally, there's been several guys who have been blown up, and I've had to ban them from commenting in the comment section because they weren't just trashing me; they were going after other people, like in the comment section. So these are like probably has some mental issues. I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say it's probably a mental issue. But anyway. Yeah, they're blowing up. Yet every one of these guys has a Yasu or something like that that's had the 11-meter mod done to it, so they're pushing out whatever the radio's got. So it's just, I think it's just a power trip, man. You know what it is? It's just a power trip. Too many people in this world just can't leave well enough alone. Live and let live apparently is long dead in this country, I guess. Oh, man. Oh, boy, there's been a lot of... I'm going to try to catch up. Some of these I'll read over. I might not read out loud. Any recommendations on a barrel spring for a 102 whip? I got one, and it rusted all the way to heck in a week. Yes. So, Johnny, don't. I have a 102 whip on my truck and a barrel spring on it, and it rusted out really bad. But guess what? It still works. So, as long as the rust doesn't bother you, or you can, get a wire brush and paint it, you can sand it down and paint it. But rust doesn't seem to affect the actual outcome of it, so I just stick with it, man. DC Volts, how about an SDR? The best of both worlds, computers and radios. Yeah, again, like I'd love to have an SDR, just need somebody to send me one. I'm just not rich enough to be able to afford to do that, so that is what it is. But yeah, I've got my eyes on a couple of them. Yaesu FT101, beautiful radio there. Pam Hawkins. 0.555 there is a ham on the west coast that runs 1200 watts pep and he never shuts up. There you go. They're out there. Mike B, aka the Drone Ranger. Zach Shacks, why do you call hams whiny? Not all, man. I'm not going to get in the middle of that conversation, but not all hams are whiny for sure. And I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying there's a couple guys out there, and they're in every walk of life, not just hams, but they apparently have lots of free time. Let's leave it at that. Let's see here. Sean gave me a $2 tip. Thank you very much, Sean. Or what is that called? Live? What is that called? I come home from work and it's 5:15 in the afternoon. I'd flip on the radio and it's rolling like crazy. I guess I could go live. I just don't know who would show up, but I'll do it, my friend. I'll do it. Thank you very much for the donation. I appreciate that. I386 says he had a 102 whip on his four-wheeler and had a CB on my four-wheeler as well. The antenna kept hitting my head, so I took it off. Yeah, that'd be a bummer. Oh, man, there's so many messages here. Holy cow. I'm trying to keep it up. Let's see here. Hey, Eric, what's up? Joining in from Southwest South Dakota. Todd Riddle, thank you very much. Black Hills 169. I feel like I know that. There's something I'm going to do in 2020, and that is I don't do QSL cards or QSL cards, but I'm gonna get a notepad and I'm gonna start anybody I contact on there and have a nice conversation with. I'm gonna start keeping those so I can track you and remember you. So if I bump into you here online or whatnot, that we'll be able to catch up. That's kind of cool. Megan Boyle, how'd you come up with a name for the farm, if you don't mind me asking? Huge Star Trek fan, Megan. Huge Star Trek fan. Star Trek The Next Generation's first episode was Farpoint Station, the farthest point, right? Well, when we moved here, this was pretty much the farthest point from the life that we had led up until that point, and so I felt like that was a good one. My wife, also a huge Star Trek fan, helped me pick that name. We had a nice sign made up. Actually, it was a gift from my mother. She had it made for us down in Raleigh. And the name is stuck. It actually works. And I'm not wearing the shirt right now, but my little shop that I run is Farpoint Repairs and Restorations. So I've got Farpoint Farm, I've got Farpoint Restorations, and who knows? There's other Farpoint stuff in the works as we speak. You never know. Timmy Gilbert, I was into CB so much years ago, and you had me going again. Sadly, long haul, as I don't have the income I had then. Yeah, I know that, man. I know it. DOT, CB is fun, no skip lately at all from where I'm at. Yeah, there was like one day that was excellent and then kind of faded off again. Wow, DOT does have 8 Baofeng radios. Holy cow, man. Well, you definitely must like them then, huh? Turbo Mini, I'm guessing. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it. Oh, Turbo Omni. Wait a minute, dude. Really? Like a Turbo, like Dodge Omni? Like a GLA? What is it? Goes like heck? Those were awesome, man. Those were awesome. Those were the envy of every Rabbit GTI owner. We just never wanted to admit it. Is there any terrain, like a bottom of a valley, huge trees, where it isn't worth having a base station? So I'm in what I call the fishbowl. I'm surrounded by larger mountains on all sides, and I do great with CB. So line of sight, yeah, I don't get a lot of. I only have one little direction. It happens to be Kingsport, Virginia, or yeah, Kingsport, Tennessee. And sometimes, very rarely, Bristol is where I'm thinking of, that I can talk line of sight. And those guys usually are using amplifiers, and the only reason they're able to hear me is because I got the Max 2000, which is a pretty good size antenna. So yeah, you can do that. It's just not ideal. But as far as skip goes and ionosphere bounce or whatever, it works fine no matter where you are. So. I-386, VHS, Megan Boyle, fellow Trekkie, yeah, I think you figured right. Yeah, Farpoint, that's where it comes from. Let's see, yeah, the Bobcats are sick little boogers. How's the unit in Washington treating you? Were you able to get any contacts on sideband? Since I set it up, the skip's not been rolling, and I have it on my smaller antenna, the old Antron, which is much lower, so I haven't made any local contacts on it either, but always playing. Let's see. Bobby Scott, a couple years ago, a couple people were talking on him, and a third guy came crying like a baby just to be a butthole to the two guys talking to each other. Yeah. I'm gonna avoid this. So, DC Volt's asking the same thing, telling me I should do a live stream the next time the DX bumps up. I'll do it. I don't know who'll show up, but I will do it. I'll have to just be a day that I'm randomly around and randomly available to do that, but I'm down with that. Yeah, I-386 saying one night the scanner picked up CB, hearing conversations going all the way from New York to Georgia. That is exactly what makes that awesome. When the band opens up, you can talk to the world. Like I said, I've been talking a lot to Michigan and nothing south lately, which is really weird, but a lot of Canada and Connecticut, New York. Really cool, man. Loving it. Let's see here. Eric D saying 58 viewer and only 38 likes. Come on, show Eric some love. Yeah. Hey, man, I'm happy that people show up. Looks like my little counter here, 64 people are actually watching this. Thanks to each and every one of you out there who took the time to tune in, and feel free to ask questions. I am always willing to try and answer them. Pam saying, okay, gotta go. 73s. Take care, Pam. It's been great. Get that antenna up in the air. Yeah, that's next weekend's project. Probably be a whole lot colder, but I'm definitely not giving up on that. I got a beautiful scanner antenna, CB antenna, and a UHF antenna that are all going to be going up there. So nice indoor rig's going to be set up here, and going to have the RCI in here. Going to try to get that unit in Madison all fixed up and cleaned up, and that's going to be in here. And then I'll put a 2-meter rig in here as well, so it'll be pretty cool, man. Yeah, exactly. David Crow's got it right. UHF TV antenna will only work on UHF TV. Receive, you can receive anything, but yeah, if you key down, you're going to blow up your radio on that. Yeah, Skip has been rolling in from the north. 386 got that right. So, man, let's see here. Just a couple of things I do want to take a minute to talk about for those of you who are hanging in there, or those of you who want to watch this later on. So this coming year in 2020, sometimes I do 3 videos a week. A lot of times I do 2 videos a week. In very rare occasions, I only get a chance to put up 1 video a week. That's life. I don't do this for a living. This is a hobby, this channel. And although it does have some pretty good subscriber count, it's still a hobby. So it's just be aware that I do my best to put out the videos that you guys want. I know that most of my viewers are interested in CB and ham related stuff. I dig it. I'm totally into that. It's a great hobby. But be aware that I also do other videos here. So I've done, I would say, more and more we're going to see some automotive related videos here now that I'm taking my automotive work to the house entirely. It's just, if I'm doing that kind of work, I might as well film it. There's some people out there to get some help out of that, so I hope to do that. I'm also starting a new series that I'm going to be putting up here, and that is that I'm going to be helping out new techs, guys that are just getting into the industry with common questions or common problems you're going to run across. A lot of guys get fired or don't make it past their first year because of relatively minor issues. So I'm going to be trying to do some videos like that. So that's that going on. I've also got some more Poor Man's Cookbook videos that I'm going to be uploading. I know absolutely not a single fan on the channel for that. I think I might have one more MRE review video that's been sitting in the in the file for ages, waiting for a slow week to upload. But yeah, I've still got 4 or 5 radios that I have laying around here that I picked up that I'll be making videos of. And like I said, I am doing a video on Skip, and I've got one more on some radio theory and stuff. So it'll be interesting to see how that all plays out as time goes on. But yeah, if you're, I know early on, especially early on, I had 2 groups of people that were battling over this channel. I had people who really came here because of the garden tractor videos and the farming videos, and I had people who came in here for the radio videos. And both of them wanted me to make a different channel for this and a different channel for that. And I decided at that point that I just couldn't deal with having 2 channels, so I decided to just keep it as what it is. I don't do as many tractor videos, but I actually have like 4 or 5 tractor videos that I've just finished filming, and I'm working on editing at this point. I've gone through and made another mud mower. I've made another quad exhaust. I've modified a sleeve hitch to fit a tractor. So I've got a bunch of small farm / small tractor videos that I hope to be uploading here in the early months of 2020. So that'll be part of what's coming up here. So just to throw that out there. Let's see here. Chandler saying, had any snow yet? Yes, we've had 3 snowstorms so far this year, but this week has been like in the high 50s, low 60s, so crazy. Beautiful. Junior GT, wish you the best in the new year. You as well, my friend. Good to see you in there. Timmy Gilbert, you work on CBs, got a Magnum S9 that's not transmitting. So here's the thing. I am amateur. I'll take them up and open them up, and I'll lube them up, and I'll clean the contacts, and I'll look for cracked solder joints, stuff like that. But when it comes to alignments or tuning, I'm not your guy. So yeah, if it's broken, you can open it up, get a magnifying glass and a flashlight, take a look at it, look for those cracks, look for a bad cap, something like that. Mike 104 saying he's late to the live stream. That's okay, man. Glad to see you in here, Zach Shack. I do enjoy your automotive videos. Good, man, because like I said, probably as time goes on, I would say 50% of the channel will be automotive and tractor, and 50%, or maybe a little bit less than 50%, will be radio. I have to play radio like it's the waves, and not just Skip, but it's, if I don't find any good radios or anything cool to talk about, it's kind of not a lot to talk about. But when I come across a huge pile, well, there's some information to make videos on, stuff like that. So that's just the ebb and the flow of that part of the channel. The tractor videos, again, I buy riding mowers throughout this time of year, buy them, store them, fix them up in the spring, and then resell them. And last year I didn't do a whole lot of that, and this year I probably won't do a ton of that either. But between that and the gardening work on there, I still have a couple of sleeve hitch implements I haven't done reviews on or talked about, so there'll be some of that as well. But yeah, automotive stuff. I brought home pretty much all my tools are now at the house. My toolboxes are all at the house, so I have the lift, and I've been buying cars to fix up, so there'll be more of that. So I'm glad you like that. Turbo Omni saying yes, he has his Shelby Omni GLHS 1986. Dude, take good care of that. That is a rare bird right there, man, and I am definitely jealous. That is a cool car. So many people are just into like Mustangs and Camaros, but I would definitely take that Shelby over a Camaro any day. Let's see, Johnny Don't, love the vintage videos and reviews. Well, thank you, my friend. Brand a lot. The Baofeng, I'm sure I'll love it as much once I get used to it, but like you wrap your brain around one type of radio, then you get a different type of programming involved, and it just kind of confuses me. So certainly they both seem to be great radios. David Jason on top of the ninth from 9TC185, West Coast, Newfoundland, Canada. Hey, man, how you doing, buddy? You know, I have family up in Canada. M10, find a Cobra 146 GTL at a yard sale. Is it worth getting fixed? I had two, not one, but two 146 GTLs. They are great radios, great sideband talking radios. Sure, if it's inexpensive to fix it up, any sideband radio probably goes for about 70, 80 bucks on eBay. So keep your repair cost and your purchase cost under that. Enjoy the radio for a while, and if you decide to sell it, you make your money back and maybe a little bit more. So that's cool, right? John Bland, I have enjoyed all of your videos. Thank you for sharing. Well, thank you, man. I appreciate that. You know, like I said, my show or my channel, I like to think of it like the Discovery Channel, right? You know, you might turn on the station one day and it's playing something that doesn't interest you. You wait a half hour and something comes on you like. So that's pretty much how it is. Is it worth subscribing? Hopefully. At least 20,000 of you thought it was. Do 350. I love both the radio and the tractor videos. Good, man. Good. Holy cow, man. Oh, boy. Oh, wow. Man, there's like a lot of them I missed here. Reverse Universe is saying, love your work, Eric. Not many channels answer so many. And so good on 73. It's good day, my friend. Dave from Oz, take care. Bro Weaver, how's the Kubota tractor doing? Awesome. Love that thing. I uploaded a video a couple weeks ago about the Johnny Products Senior, Johnny Products Plow Senior, or Johnny Junior Plow, whatever it is. Anyway, the hydraulically operated plow that's specifically made for those Scut-sized tractors. And I haven't had a snowfall yet big enough to use it, but I'm ready to rock and roll. Got chains on the Kubota now. Weights, loaded wheels. I mean, that thing probably weighs about as much as the house, but I'm ready for the snow to fall in that sense. If we don't get any snow this year, that's fine with me too, though. But that's great. I love the Kubota. It's working really well. I've only had to take it apart that one time for that fuel issue. Other than that, that thing's been a stout beast. i386, I seem to be good at programming those Baofeng. Software seems to work better on Windows 7. Huh. Okay, well, I have a one Windows 7 software or computer still set up because one of my automotive programs still requires that. So maybe I'll try that, add on that, and see if it's any easier. Matt Manley, we're in Virginia, not far from you. Would love to stop by. Hey, visitors on the farm. As long as you're an announced visitor, that would not be a problem. However, don't hop the fence, bro. It would be bad for everyone. Bobby Scott, enjoy all your videos, man. Well, thank you very much. Connor Keeley, 73 is from Connor in the south of Ireland. Man, isn't that great? All the way from Ireland, around the whole world. Well, good to you, Connor. Appreciate you stopping by, man. Chandler, do you still do cigar reviews? I used to fall asleep to those. A real vibe check. Chandler, I do not, and there are two reasons for that. One I can discuss publicly, the other one I cannot. The public reason is YouTube, in their infinite wisdom, has decided that cigars are bad, and people that smoke cigars are bad. They not only demonetized those videos, but they also dinged my channel for that because they found that not to be advertiser friendly or people friendly. So you're not allowed to think about cigars. You're certainly not allowed to watch videos on cigars. Shame on you for thinking about that or doing that, okay? But the vibe check I appreciate, man. Maybe I'll just do like a cigar chat without the cigars every once in a while and just talk about life for 15 minutes. Would that make it up to you? Megan Boyle, I found you're purely car related, but stayed because your videos are good, informational, interesting. Cool. Well, thank you, Megan. I appreciate that. That's nice to hear. So yeah, like I said, I kind of get into all this stuff. Matt Manley, looking to get a 980 SSB. Like your review. Really enjoy your YouTube channel. Happy 2020. Hope it's a great year for you. Well, thank you, man. Oh gosh, so many people. Marky Shaw, I personally love the variety of the videos. I came for the CBs and stayed for the homesteading and car stuff. I definitely have a lot more confidence popping open my hood, inspired all around. Thank you, Marky. Appreciate that. So, yeah, it's amazing. Actually, I remember, Mark, the comment that you made, Mark, that made me go to your site or your page and then listen to your music and then decide to reach out and ask you about that music that ended up getting me the Farpoint Farms theme song was actually a computer video. I did like a vintage computer. I can't remember if it was the iMac or some other, like maybe the TRS Model 100, some old computer, and you were like, holy cow, the dude's into CBs and old computers. And I thought, oh, that's cool. So I went and checked out your page, and the rest is history. But yes, I am into a little bit of everything, as are many people of our age. You know, I mean, you got to have hobbies. Your life gets real boring without hobbies. Okay, let's see. I'm gonna read these, but I may not read them out loud. trying to get back to, oh wow, boy, there's been a lot here. Let's see. A lot of people saying they just enjoy it, man. Okay, I'm kind of getting caught up here. Thank you so much to all the people who just are enjoying the videos, enjoying the channel, and keep it up. I'll try to continue to make quality stuff. And you know, if some days we have dips in the quality, I apologize, but it's hard after 350 videos to think of stuff that you actually want to see. One thing I have thought about doing is there's a couple of really early on videos that real low quality. They're actually filmed on old analog VHS camcorder. It's amazing that even in 2014 I was using that, but that's what I used for the first dozen or so videos until it broke. So I might remake some of those about tuning antennas, stuff like that. I might go ahead and remake those just so y'all are aware of that. Johnny, do you get into listening to shortwave or longwave radios? I got a little traveler radio from Grundig, and there's some interesting stuff out there. Dude, I love that stuff. I love it. I have that airline tube radio that's shortwave. I have a Grundig myself. I have several shortwave radios, and although it's nowhere near like it was in the 90s or early 2000s, shortwave still has some really cool stuff, man. So yeah, I actually plan on making a video that covers just shortwave and the cool stuff you can pick up on that at some point here over the winter. So yes. John Bland saying he's got to go. Take care, my friend. Michael Holt saying hello. Hello. Oh, not Holt. Hoyt. Sorry. How you doing, my man? Sean, it's because cigars bring up impeachment thoughts. Interesting theory. I think that could be possible. Nate Dogg saying Happy New Year to me. Well, Happy New Year to you, my friend. Timmy Gilbert, you still liking the President McKinley? Absolutely love it. Made a video. I haven't edited it together. I'm not even sure how to edit it together. Was driving home. There was a terrible accident. A lot of detours. I was sitting there for hours, man, and I was playing on the radio, and wouldn't you know, the skip rolled in like crazy. And although no one could hear me, I certainly heard people from all over the place. It was crazy. So I did a little bit of recording there, and I'll just make something up there. But yeah, I love the McKinley. It's great. I keep finding new features too. There's a lot of hidden features on that. I probably ought to make a follow-up on that one. Nate Dogg, gotta go. Take care, my friend. Michael Hoyt, do you use CB in the winter? Sure do. I was using it yesterday. In fact, talking with a guy on channel 17, actually two guys on 17, made a video of it. They asked not to be a part of the video, so I will edit that part out. But yeah, I was working on a new radio setup in my pickup truck, and there was just local contact going on. They were just two old-timers having a chat, man. So DC Volt used to use SDR to watch waterfall and tune in the traffic receive. Yeah, SDR is kind of, I like it. I like that it's a visual thing. You can tune so much of the band visually and then find what you want to watch, or not watch, but listen to that way. But SDR, I wish I had more time to play with that. Once I get this new antenna set up here at the house, I'm going to bring the SDR in here, because I really play more on the computer in the house than I do in the garage. I have a computer out there, but it's mostly for work-related stuff, so I don't really just sit there and play on it that much. Let's see here. Joseph Frank, do something helping C-Beers pass the ham test. What do you think you want me to do? Like I guess I could go through what the ham test looks like, or if you have any ideas, I'm definitely willing to hear them out, Mr. Frank. I-386, there is something going on called Channel 3 on CB, Channel 3 on MERS, and Channel 3 on FRMS. Every 3 hours do a check-in. Interesting idea, great way to get maybe more interest in the hobby that way, get people online and get people to get, it's amazing how many people have radios on but never speak. And I know myself, I'm the same way. I usually turn the radios on when I go out to work in the shop, and then I just have them on and I'm working. And if I hear skip start to roll in, I'll go and talk, but very rarely do I just go on a dead station and start calling out. I just don't have time, I guess, is what it comes down to. But I probably ought to, man. I really should. Phillips saying he's enjoyed the site. Phil from New Mexico. It's been New Mexico, yeah. It's been cold here. Keep it up. You're a true American. Thank you, brother. Thank you. That actually means a lot to me, man. I do try to preach about liberty and freedom, and although I don't preach it too hard, it's kind of a background to my channel. Michael's saying I've been using CB and I want to try to talk to you on my old camera, Cobra Cam 89. Well, that is an old radio. That's a cool one too. Holy cow. Whew. Guys, you got me for about another 15 minutes. My voice is starting to give out here. I don't do this much talking most of the time. So, I have enjoyed this. I'm amazed at how many people have come through here, and to the two of you who were kind enough to give me whatever that is, the chat, super chat. That was pretty cool, man. Always nice when somebody wants to donate to the channel, thinks that I'm doing such a good job that it's worth paying money for. Certainly, I feel like there isn't a person on YouTube that doesn't deserve my money more than any cable network does currently. They're all garbage now. I've given up on watching television pretty much altogether. I guess the HD Stacker breaking was maybe kind of the last straw for me. I just said forget it, and ended up I watch most of the stuff that I go to watch right here on YouTube. There's a lot more interesting characters on YouTube than there are on your average TV station anymore. Todd Riddle, are you drinking water there or Powerade? This is so my wife drinks Powerade, and then I take the bottles and use them to fill up with water. So I don't drink soda or any of that stuff. I just drink water. We got spring water here, so it's just yeah. Anytime you see these bottles like this, that's just me refilling bottles. My wife buys the bottles, and I end up, using them for other stuff. Dallas Rife saying I had to step out for a few. Is this still live, or am I picking up where I left off because I hit pause? No, well, I'm live. I don't know where you're at, buddy, but we're at an hour and 18 minutes in, and we're still talking. I-386 says arthritis is bothering me in my hands. Yeah, I get that too, my man. I actually, because of the warm weather this week, I've actually felt young again briefly. So other than some internal issues, my elbows and my shoulders and my knees, which are destroyed from a life of hard blue-collar work, they're actually feeling pretty good today. It's just Michael saying he's got the Cobra Cam on Channel 6, listening to the radio and watching you amazingly live. Isn't that crazy how we can do that stuff? Just blows me away that I can sit here. We've already talked to Ireland. I've talked to Australia. I mean, we've talked to Alaska, Canada, United States. Half the states probably in the United States, right from a computer in the mountains of North Carolina, and it just blows me away, man. I-386 saying is all he drinks sweet tea. Would love to make sweet tea from fresh spring water, man. I could ship you some. Maybe that's it. Farpoint Farms water. Bottled water is a huge industry, so that would be perfect, man. John's asking anything new with the Rabbit truck. Yes, lots. So I've got 2 videos already shot for it that are edited and just in the queue waiting to be uploaded. But now, to answer Bro Weaver's question underneath yours, I never did find a dash that was of a reasonable price, so I went ahead and reinstalled the old one. It isn't pretty, but it worked. It works, and I was getting tired of staring at that car in a million pieces. I'm finishing up internal wiring. I got a fuse box shipped all the way from Germany. I've installed that, got all the lights and blinkers and flashers and heaters, and I mean everything is working the way it should. What's not working right is I've added some gauges. A voltmeter gauge is working fine, but I've also added a temp gauge, and apparently I wired it up improperly because it's not responding. And then I've added fog lights, so I got a switch for the fog lights. I've got a electric fan override switch, so I can turn the electric fan on when I want to, because those cars were notorious for overheating. The fan switch would fail, or the wiring going to it would fail, and the car would overheat and really do a lot of damage there. So a couple switches. Oh, interior lighting switch. And so just some minor wiring, really probably a half day's work. It's just I went hard at it for like 2 or 3 weeks. Every chance I had, I was out there playing around in it, and I just kind of got burned out a little bit. This is supposed to be for fun, so I stopped working on it temporarily. And then so once I get that finished, it's ready for the road. Lighting's almost done, so it's going to be great, man. I'm not going to be actually taking it out and licensing it until spring, because I don't want that salt on. This car is a true survivor, man. I mean, no salt. So it's going to just be my baby. But I am using it as a work truck, so for 7 months or 8 months out of the year, it'll be on the road, and it'll be hauling hay and critters, and I'll probably pick up another goat and some pigs and that thing. So I'm looking forward to that. I've even dreamed, because I dreamt about doing this with my old Rabbit truck, but I've even dreamed of building a micro slide-in camper for that thing and using it to go on camping trips. So man, so that's what's going on with the Rabbit truck. Thank you for asking, man. I love that thing. Zach Shack. Nowadays, I get most of my news from the Clear Channel AM stations at night instead of TV. Love playing with Clear Channel radio. You know, like 680 WPTF in Raleigh is one of the Clear channels, and man, I grew up listening to that. Dallas Ripe saying, "Okay, yeah, buddy." Oh wow, just made contact from Texas on his Cobra Cam, man. So still hanging in there. John, the bass cannon. Once I get my orders, I plan on grabbing one 1.7 diesel. Sounds good in my book. So if you're trying to get somewhere in a hurry with those diesels, forget about it. But if you want to get like 40 miles a gallon, or some people get 45 miles a gallon out of those things, they'll work. I had a 81 that was a diesel, had the 1.6 I think diesel in it, non-turbo, top speed 65. You could get up on the highway with them, but slow to get there. And I love it though. I love it. Great, simple to work on vehicle. No electronics whatsoever on those. So Michael's saying, I talked to a guy with 5 watts because I have my radio tuned up. Right on, brother. I-386, like the truck, but I'm a big truck person. I drive a 2013 Dodge Ram. It's in the shop right now because some idiot hit me and drove off. Man, that sucks. I hate people like that, dude. I don't know why they have to do that stuff, but yeah, that Rabbit truck could probably fit in the bed of your Dodge. Although here's the thing, man. I got pretty much guys on the channel, I'm pretty sure, but here's the problem I have with modern trucks, man. Every modern truck is a quad cab and ends up with a bed that's like a 4-foot bed, and I just don't get it, man. I just don't understand that. I swear this little Rabbit truck has got a bigger bed than some full-size Ford F-150s or 250s have, because you know what I mean, man? It's just, I don't know. That's a little side thought there that I just had. But I've just been noticing that lately. It's like you try to load something in the back of one of these quad cabs, and you're like, wait, it can't even fit half a sheet of plywood in this thing. But it's like a monster, you got to climb a step ladder to get up into it. Chandler, I'm pretty sure I have like 5 accounts following you that I don't remember passwords to. Been around a while, but I couldn't tell you how long. I love the way your show feels. Feels like I'm there. Cool, man. Well, I mean, it's just like guys and gals sitting around and having a conversation, man. Daniel Payton, what part of western North Carolina do you reside? I'm in Jackson County. Well, I don't like telling people exactly where I live, but I'm in the northwestern corner of North Carolina, man. Bobby Scott, jumping off of YouTube. Have a great New Year. Nice listening to you live. Bobby, nice having you stop in tonight. I appreciate it, and I'll see you around, man. Johnny Don't, Farpoint Farms artisanal small batch distilled spring water. Slap that. Yes, dude, Johnny, I'll take these. So my wife will drink these. I'll reuse them for water, and then after a while I'll get bored with them, and then I will wash them out real good, go down to the spring, fill it up right from the old hose, cut the label off. I'll slap on Farpoint Farms small batch distilled water, spring water, and $6 a bottle. And you know what? I'll even charge shipping. How's that? Megan gave $10. Holy cow! Are you kidding me? Well, Ms. Boyle, well, thank you very much. I appreciate that very, very much. I don't deserve it, but I do appreciate it. And it's so cool that I got to know you randomly because of a Mitsubishi Mirage video. You obviously have great taste in cars. Let me just point that out as well. So thank you very much. I-386 is asking, there is a 680 in Raleigh. That seems too close to Atlanta. There is, yeah. Yeah, and it reaches, I mean, ground wave wise, daytime you get all the way past Winston-Salem on it. Skywave, at night when it goes Clear Channel, I'm sure you could probably pick that thing up in most of the country. But yeah, 680. It's one of the 50,000 watt big boys. Joseph Franks wanting to know, what am I going to do on the farm for New Year's? I'm going to go to bed. I'm old. I don't drink. I don't have fun. I don't do hardly anything. So yeah, my big plan is probably stay up till 8 o'clock, 8:15. Maybe, I don't know, maybe buy like some food that I'm not supposed to eat and have a little bit of that with the wife, and then both of us probably go to sleep early. I think she has to work New Year's Day. I'm off, but I say I'm off. I'm off in town. I'm definitely on here at the house. So Megan Boyle, have to run early meetings tomorrow. Happy New Year to you and the family. You too, Megan. Thank you again for the donation. I appreciate that, and you have a good night. Take care. John Famous 625, West North Jersey. I heard you call on the radio. I think it was yesterday or the day before. Try to get in contact with you. Man, see, there you go. I tell you what, like all of a sudden, people were, I was bumping into a bunch of people that I actually knew. So that's cool, John. It's great to hear that you at least heard me, and I will definitely try again one night. Was it on 40? Because I was trying on 40 and 36 for a change, back and forth, and I did make some contacts on that. Where usually I sit on 38, but 38 gets kind of crowded when the skip's really rolling. So anyway, that's kind of cool, man. Michael, happy birthday, happy New Year to you. You as well, my friend. Timmy saying he's in Winston-Salem. Good for you, my friend. And Spaceplan, thanks for your helpful video, my friend. Getting my first CB base station set up. Awesome, man. Well, I'm glad to hear it. I'm glad to hear it. Look, boys and girls, it has been so close after Christmas when most people's bank accounts are most certainly depleted from taking care of their loved ones, which I always recommend you do. I want to say thank you. 20,000 subscribers, 5 million views. What an incredible life I have here in the mountains, huh? My wish for all of you is that 2020 is successful, happy, safe, and profitable. Let's hope it's all profitable. Let's hope you do well financially in 2020. And I want you all to know that I'm here, and I'm very appreciative of each and every one of you. Until I talk to you again, take care. Let's see, I'll just read the last two. We'll run it out. I'm going to go the full 130 here. We'll read out the last few here. I-386 saying 6:40 a.m. and 6:80 a.m. and 7:50 in Raleigh and in Atlanta. 7:50, yeah, I remember 7:50. 6:40, and there was 570. Used to be a comedy channel in Raleigh, but I don't know what happened to that one. I think now it's Hispanic or something. Look at radio locator in Raleigh, directional signals, daytime. Yeah, 50,000. John Farmer, 38 LSB. Okay, so I mean I talk on all of them, but I was trying to do some on 36 and 40. Chandler saying you're the best. No, man, you're the best. I appreciate all that. David Jason, happy New Year to you and your family. Looking forward to see what new videos you have on that new handheld radio. Thinking about getting one as well, but I like the one you have. Good night, my friend. Take care. Timmy, thank you for the responses. You as well. And I will try and contact you, Michael, as well. Y'all take care, and I'll see you next time. Have a great evening. Bye-bye.